sexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bryshere Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Scared. There's things going on with me. There's rumors. There's people that are body shamming me. He liked the way I look. What's your greatest fear? My greatest fear? I don't even know how to answer that question. Not being able to live as long as I can. You regret ever getting involved in I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old. Sorry, I'm sorry, the way that I look. I got it hurts so bad, it hurts. It hurts so bad because there's like nothing I can do about I don't know how long I'm going to be able to not do this. Me and crying, I can't stop. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. My dad died 5 weeks ago. What are your first thoughts when you see this? I'm a broken man. It's dark and demonic energy that this industry was built on. And people manipulate young women. They manipulate. And at the end of the day, it's all for the dollar and all to feed their ego. So, I've seen some where you that's just not right. That's just that person shouldn't be talking to that person. That person shouldn't be in the room with that person alone. When you're in this position to change people's lives. So it looks like the truth behind Aaron Carter's death is finally coming out, and Bryce and Orlando are right in the middle of it. A lot of people have always speculated that Aaron's death was shady as hell because it happened right when he was beginning to reveal incriminating things about the industry. The type of things that they literally spend millions of dollars to make sure never come out. And who better to speak for him now that he was dead than Bryshere and Orlando? They pretty much went through the same thing Aaron went through, except they made it out alive, unlike Aaron. Okay, so as most of y'all know by now, Aaron Carter passed away back on November 2nd, 2022 at just 34 years old. And according to what was reported at the time, his death was ruled as an accidental drowning after he OD'd on Xanax and a mix of other substances. On the morning of November 5th, 2022, Aaron was discovered in the bathtub at his place by his housekeeper, who dialed 911 and was told to start CPR. Emergency responders arrived at the location, and Aaron was declared dead right there at 11:14 a.m. after they investigated the scene. His body was taken to the department's Forensic Science Center for an examination, and it was revealed that Aaron was incapacitated while in the bathtub, ultimately leading to drowning. A lot of people didn't buy any of this and still think to this day that his autopsy was faked by people at the top to cover up what really went down. Also, this ain't the first time a celeb drowned in the bathtub. The reason folks made these claims was that Aaron was real loud about the stuff happening in the industry, and we all know Hollywood hates that. Everyone who's tried exposing things either gets called insane and thrown in a psych ward or ends up dead. And sadly for Aaron, he experienced both. The most heartbreaking part is that Aaron got his start in the industry as a child actor at only 9 years old. And according to several reports, he was getting touched on by creeps in Hollywood from the very start. And to make matters even worse, they were stealing this man's money, y'all. You see, even though he had really successful albums and hits throughout his career, he admitted that all his money got stolen by record executives who were just using him both for his finances and body. In 2002, he took legal action against his manager, Lou Pearlman, saying he owed him hundreds of thousands in royalties. They worked it out privately, but he came at him again in 2007 to get released from his recording deal, which he actually won. But it wasn't just his manager and label people robbing him. His whole family, especially his mom, was also using him. And once he got old enough to understand what was happening, he didn't waste any time calling it out. In 2003, Aaron filed to legally separate himself from his mother and co-manager, Jane Carter. It all sounds too familiar with what Bryshere Gray also went through with his mother. Anyways, Aaron was supposed to have over $45 million in his trust fund by the time he hit 18 under California's Klled law, but when he finally got access to it, there was only $1 million sitting there. You see, he says he made over $300 million throughout his career by age 18. And according to the Klled law, his parents were required to put away 15% of everything he earned into his trust fund. His mom, though, was supposedly spending all the money on herself and only managed to save up to 1 million instead of 45. Oh, absolutely not. I would be taking everyone to court too, because how are you only getting to 1 million when you're supposed to have 45 million? And listen to this. To make everything even worse, Aaron also said he got blackballed once he started taking people to court. When he tried getting deals with other labels, they wouldn't even consider him because they knew some powerful people would tank his career if they tried working with him. This was actually what caused him to fall into a deep depression, leading to his use of hard substances. I take for high blood pressure medication, and I took for my mouth. Actually, right after Aaron passed away, people started digging into his past, and that's when they found out he was running in Diddy's circle when he was still a child. It's not clear what exactly he had going on with Diddy, but according to several insiders, Diddy was one of the executives who used him and got him hooked on substances. I mean, I would not put anything past Diddy considering everything that has been proven in court. A blind item from Aaron's camp came out not too long ago, saying that Aaron was working on a documentary to expose Diddy for his role in his trauma right before he supposedly drowned. Aaron Carter was unalived right before he was about to expose what happened at P. Diddy's St. Parties, where he was a victim of substance misuse and greed. Aaron Carter released albums under Sony Music Group Entertainment, which is a parent company of P. Diddy's Bad Boy Records. And guess the two other people who went through the same thing: Bryshere and Orlando. You see, just like Aaron, Bryce and Orlando were also child stars who got used up by these industry players, got hooked on hard substances, and then thrown out like garbage. Remember when Terrence Howard went on that interview and literally admitted right out of his mouth that Bryce lost his manhood to other men in the industry against his will? When you lose your man card, that's the only thing I can think of. You lose your damn man card. What is that? What do you mean by that? You give up your ability, your right to being a man don't take it, a man gives it. So when you give up that man card, you don't get that back. Are you saying what I think you're saying? No, I'm saying what I'm saying. You don't get that back. You come into this world as a man one time. You give up that right for anything. For fear of being hurt, fear of somebody doing something, for wanting to gain something. When you give up that man card, right, you lose some spiritual energy that has always been pushing through. Like if a woman gives up her womanly right, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and out by some over greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. You see, when Bryce was just 17, he was handed over by his mama and former manager to Diddy and Will for a supposed mentorship. But baby, word on the street is they did everything else to him but that mentorship. You see, after the mentorship ended, Bryce was a totally different person. He was constantly getting locked up and spiraling with substances. He went from being on one of the biggest shows on TV at just 17 to being seen as nothing but a washed-up Hollywood has-been. In 2022, he was arrested and convicted for aggravated attack against a woman he was seeing at the time. But this wasn't his first time dealing with the law. Back in 2020, his wife got help from someone at a gas station nearby after she ran there asking for assistance. She told the cops that Bryshere had choked her and kept attacking her until she was passing in and out of consciousness. When the police showed up at his place to arrest him, he wouldn't come out. It took hours of the SWAT team going back and forth with Bryshere just to get him to step outside. Stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight, we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them the actor had her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events. Around the same time, Jaguar Wright also stepped into the chat with some of the wildest rumors you've probably heard in your life. She backed up the rumors about Bryce's manager at the time, Charlie Mack, playing a role in the whole situation by connecting Bryce to the people who were passing him around. But this is where it got even wilder. Jaguar also disclosed that the reason Charlie was able to make that happen in the first place was that Bryshere's mom, Andrea Mayberry, was also involved, and she let everything go down. Jaguar claims that when all this was going down, Andrea came to her desperate F.